This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring, outside the ring, it's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of all, professional wrestling.
Come on! And now, here's Nick and Keith.
Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. My name is Nick. His name is Keith. This is the third time I'm doing this. Let's get it going. We have gathered together once again for some predictions. This time it's WWE Crown Jewel. It is this Saturday. Keith, before we get to the predictions, let's hear it, buddy. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, man, it's Crown Jewel. It's another Saudi show. I'll be honest, this is like the least anticipation I've had for a Saudi show in a while. Not that I'm ever like super stoked when it's like, oh man, Crown Jewel's coming up. Like, I'm never like jacked for it anyway, but like this time around especially, I'm just kind of like, like not a whole lot on this card really excites me. You know, we got a whole lot of new nonsense going on with these Crown Jewel championships that literally couldn't mean any less than nothing. You know, but we got to do it. We're going to, you know, something cool will happen that I'll be eating my words. Someone will show up or something. Probably The Rock. But,
come on, man.
You know, yeah. Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the first match here. This is for the Women's Tag Team Championships. It's Cargill and Belair taking on Sane, Sky, Legends, Jackson, Green, Nevin. This seems like a WWE Crown Jewel match. And this is what we got here. I'm going to start off. I don't know what's happening. I do know they're trying with the tag team division, both divisions. It seems like they're bringing up new competitors, as you can see with Jackson and Legend. So I like that. I like that they're trying, but still it's just, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is, you know, at this point until something happens, but I don't see Cargill and Belair losing this. I think this is another dominant performance, which they are really good at when it comes to just tag team wrestling. I think they know by now what to do, when to tag in, when Belair needs to go on her monster run, when you got Cargill coming in to end the match. I mean, we've seen it before. It's like a Roman Reigns match. We know what happens. Right. Cargill she just doesn't have it. She has it as in the looks, the way she acts. That's all great and dandy. But as soon as she steps foot in that ring, it's just like, okay, we get it. Yep. Tag 1, 2, 3, tag 1, 2, 3, Roman in, Roman out, Belair in, Belair out. Okay, pin, done. That's what I think is going to happen. I guess if we're looking at anything positive, there's a women's match in Saudi Arabia. Oh my gosh, breaking barriers, I guess. All right, everybody wear a jumpsuit and make sure you don't do anything too sexual. Okay, great. All right, sorry. I'm off my soapbox. Let's hear it.
That's all right. You get off the soapbox and I'll hop onto it. No, I mean, I have to agree with you here. As much as I would love, honestly, two of the 4 teams that are in here to actually take the titles off of Jade and Bianca, I feel like the last couple of times that there's been a women's tag title match on a pay-per-view, I've been like, it's going to happen so we can build this feud for Mania. They're not going to do that in Crown Jewel, finally. So it's not going to happen on this one, but sooner or later, something's going to happen so we can build that for Jade and Bianca. Jade versus Bianca at Mania, because that's where we're eventually getting to. I would love to see Chelsea and Piper win it. I would love to see the Meta 2, really, but the Meta 4, Lash and Jakara, win it too. That would be awesome. But I just don't see it in Saudi Arabia. This is one of those that this match is literally just here so that they can have more women on the show, because it's breaking barriers. You know, this is a good way to get, 8 women a nice Saudi payday. So yeah, let's give them that payday. Nothing too exciting, like you said. It's going to be, there's going to be some cool stuff going on. Not trying to count out, Damage Control either with Io and Kyrie, but they've been there. We've done that. It's whatever. There's going to be cool stuff. Cool things are going to happen. There's going to be fun things that go on in this match, but it's going to be what you said. Bianca's going to do her thing. She's going to look desperate, make the hot tag at Jade. Jade's going to come in, clean house a little bit, beat a bunch of people up, and then, hit Jaded on someone, pin, and win.
How do body slam? Oh, tag, you're in. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're struggling, and big pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Dated. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, and I feel
Yeah.
bad because there's, on the one hand, I'm the first one to be on the soapbox being like, man, the women's tag division sucks and they don't do enough with it. Blah, 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 blah. And now they are sort of here, and there are legitimate tag teams like, Jakara and Lash Legend, and Piper and
Yeah.
Chelsea, and I know
Yeah.
I just said it's going to be Jade and Bianca like blowing up eventually, but they're a legit team. We have stuff going on, the Pure Fusion Collective and whatnot. Like they're trying to do it well, but it's like this is sort of a step in the right direction, I guess, but it's still not a good step. So Jade and
Yeah.
Bianca retain.
Yeah. Just another payday, right? I
Yep.
mean,
Big payday for
things
all.
are changing here in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Let's stop. Let's be a little nice there.
There
Let's
we go.
get it. Let's get to the next match. Here we go. Seth Rollins, freaking Rollins, going one-on-one with big Bronson Reed. You see what I did there? Freaking big. Okay. I get it. He's big and he's cool. Put them together. It's going to be a banger match. And that's exactly what we're going to get. This is one of those TV feuds that you're invested in, and this is something that I'm invested in. I don't know where they're going to go and why this feud has happened. I guess maybe just to push big Bronson Reed and give Seth something to do, since he's been on top for about 7 to 8 years, and he needs a little cool down and a little break, a little father time, a little wife time, come back. I'm loving it. I don't know what's next for this feud, so I think I gotta go with Bronson Reed, because it just makes more sense to have someone like a Bronson Reed win. But then again, it could be a simple twist of fate, as in like Seth wins and the feud continues. So I can see that too.
Right.
But for me, if you want to do it right at a big pay-per-view, you do it with Bronson going over, and it's got to be dominant, as not like a 1, 2, 3 match with Brock or a Goldberg match, but
Right.
a match where it makes sense for Bronson Reed to go over. Other than that, I'm excited. I think this is what we need. It's kind of the payoff, but again, like I said, I don't know,
Right.
but my heart's saying big Bronson Reed, and my head's saying Seth, so I'm going to go with my heart here. Keith, what do you got?
Right. No, my body's telling me no. My head is saying, hey, how does that one go? But my body is telling me yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope we're not too boring all up and down this with the same predictions, but I'm also going to go with big Bronson Reed here. Everything you just kind of said, this has been, like, to me, the most exciting story building up on Raw. It's like one I'm most entertained by, just them just constantly brawling. Looking at, as we sit here now on the 29th, looking at Raw last night of like Rollins coming out after him, and the Death Valley driver out of the, like, off of the truck through the stuff, and the Reed throwing the trash can at him was amazing. Like, just brilliant stuff. I love the build to it. I think we're not at the intensity quite of like a Punk Drew feud, but I think that's what, like, they're trying to get toward. So in that same way, this is like the first round of it. You need Bronson to win here, because it's like, you look at them, and all this is no disrespect to Bronson Reed whatsoever, but you look at the two of them side by side. One is someone who has been a mainstay and has been the company man for 8, 9, 10 years at this point. The other one is not only relatively new to the WWE audience, but also someone that was in the WWE system, got let go. Vince had to go away. Then he finally got to come back. Like, I love Bronson Reed. Get that down. I want that on the record. I'm not talking smack. He's fantastic. But in the pecking order of things, he's down a little bit lower. To give this feud legs, he's got to win it here. I think he wins it. Doesn't have to be dominant. It can be a hard-fought match, whatever. He wins it, and then give a good beatdown again afterwards. I mean, he wrote Rollins off by hitting him with 9 tsunamis on an episode of Raw or whatever. Awesome.
Yeah.
Big match. You win. Really show your dominance. Hit him with 10 this time. Break the ring with how many tsunamis you give him. And then have that be the thing. So, Rollins is out again for a little while. He's got to heal back up, and then he shows up, and, whatever, not the fantasy book, but it happens here, whatever. Maybe then, Bronson gets a shot at the IC title, and it's been a little while. Rollins shows up and costs him the title. So then we set up number 2 and we make it more of a blood feud and just keep it rolling, Great for both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
But Bronson's got to win here to make that all happen. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think regardless of the outcome here, it's going to be one of those matches where you say, okay, I'm ready for this,
Right.
And I'm ready for the next match. Let's get to it. Randy Orton going one-on-one with Kevin Owens. KO versus RKO. And let me tell you something. I sent you the video via text message.
Mm-hmm.
It was when Triple H and Randy had their promo in the ring on SmackDown. And again, what do I always say? That fine line of reality. And that's what they did. They balanced on that fine line. And basically what happened is, Tripp said, I'm trying to save you. You had a major, surgery. I don't want you to do it. And then he also said KO is just someone you can't mess with. And, you kind of hurt his feelings. So regardless of that, I am just excited, but also I understand that this is going to be a good match, but it's not going to be a great match. As in, like, when I thought of Gunther versus Randy, I was really excited. And then I was like, okay, that was good. I understood. Maybe the ending was blah. Maybe that's what happened and made me think, okay, it could have been better. But with Randy and KO, they are just go-getters. That's just their kind of attitude. I said that on the last episode where it's, these guys like Cody, Randy, KO, and Sammy, and even Gunther. It's like when it's time to shine, they will put up. I think I'm more into the storyline than the actual match. I think, again, the match is going to be decent. It's going to be okay. I think Randy or KO will, help Randy in this match and maybe make it better than I expect. But I think it's going to be a good match. I don't have anything else other than Randy's going to go over here. I don't know. I don't know what's next, but I know that this is going to be entertaining. Keith, what do you got here?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you said what you said, so we are different already here, because I have KO, obviously. I think the stuff that's been going on with KO, the fan footage of him kind of beating up Cody. We were talking about this either last week or the week before, whenever it was. Like, just heel KO is the best KO for me. All KO is the best KO, but heel KO is better than the best in my opinion. I love heel KO. And when you get justified heel KO, like, you got something special in your hands. And that's totally what he is here. He's absolutely justified. The turn on Cody was justified for him. The fans, the kids, the everyone, no, he's a mean man. He beat our Mr. American hero. Like, but Mr. American Hero kind of just went back on all his principles and decided to team up with the man that this man here fought alongside him with to try to defeat for like a couple of years. So he's not wrong.
No.
So, you were right everywhere else here. This is going to be a great match. Randy now, especially, like, he's hit this perfect point in his career where he's like bigger. You can tell he's just having a good time doing the things that he does. This is going to be a good match. KO could have a great match with almost anybody. Randy is already great, so this is just, you put them together, it's going to be fantastic. I think we're going to see a lot of brutality here, a lot of nuts stuff. Again, I just said it with the last one, but maybe not a clean win, but I think KO wins here to kind of just give him more oomph going back into like what he's leading toward. Because I don't know that we're getting KO in like the main event of Mania for the world title, but I feel like he's still coming after Cody in some way. So we just need to build him. A win over Randy is going to help that build for sure.
Yeah. And what I like too about Trips is he said something along the lines of, well, he brought up the prize fighter of KO, like bringing back that amazing run when he started in NXT and also a little bit on the main roster. And then you got the wrestler Randy Orton, who's, he's aging and that's fine. And like you said, he still is in the ring and he's still lacing up the boots and having fun. And he's just there to just, be there, maybe for,
Right.
Cena and like you said, maybe Mania, but to have that as again, I'll go back to, I'm more into the storyline, the old man, old Yeller, Ric Flair, if you want to say HBK and
Right.
old, Ric Flair, where it's like the guy who's in his prime and the guy who's, on the way out. And again, the storyline with what you said, it's great. I love it. I want this feud to continue, and I think it will, just because, you know, what's always relevant, what's always here, the bloodline, and this also is
Right.
part of that sort of, storyline. So,
Yeah.
I'm interested. I can't wait, and it's going to
Absolutely.
be a good match. Let's get to the next match. Here we go for the WWE. Well, no, for the first ever Crown Jewel
Hmm.
champion versus champion. It is your champion on SmackDown, Nia Jax, going one-on-one with the women's world champion, Liv Morgan. I don't know. Yeah, she's on SmackDown and Liv's on Raw. Yes, I watch wrestling. Let's see. This means absolutely nothing at all. So what do you do? Do you go with someone like a Liv Morgan who's on top right now, or a Nia Jax who is kind of like in a storyline with Tiffany, but it's just back and forth, back and forth. And is she going to cash in? Is she not? Bring in Naomi. Naomi's great. Okay, great. And now you saw them on SmackDown. I guess now it makes more sense. Now the reason why we saw the new Judgment Day on SmackDown is, to build this story. So, that makes sense. But overall, I'm not too excited about this match. I think it's just too, again, sorry. I think it's just too average wrestlers with a championship belt at a big event. And hey, sounds like a good idea. Let's put it together. I'm absolutely 100% positive something is going to happen. If it's going to be something along the lines of Tiffany, which makes sense, and you probably are like, "Oh my God, Nick, why did you say that?" But I think it's either Tiffany or we see Dom again and the Judgment Day. I don't know, but this is not going to be a one-on-one, technical match. Something's going to happen. Something needs to happen to help carry this match, in my opinion. So if I'm going to look at it that way, then I'm going Nia Jax. I think the only reason why I'm leaning towards that is it just would make sense for the ending. And then I'll leave it at that because I know you're biting at the bit to say something. Is she going to cash in? Let's hear it, Keith. What do you got?
I can't do it again. I can't do it again. You know, fool me
No.
once,
Oh, I
shame on
know.
you.
Trust me.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on whatever.
Yeah.
You can't get
What about
fooled
the third
again.
time? Yeah.
Whatever. So
Don't get fooled again.
exactly. Tiffy's not going to cash in here.
Whoa.
Now it's going to happen because I'm saying that.
Yep.
But now
Well, that's the
I don't
same
see that
thing.
one happening
Yep.
here. This one, and spoiler alert for the men's one too. I don't know if that's the next one we're going to talk about here, but I these are both just when these are both just like new pay-per-view, like it's the pay-per-view example of like when we were doing like the Survivor series where it was like Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and it was like
Oh
for a
yeah.
minute it was gonna be like, well, it's the champions of each brand going against each other. So for like a
Yeah.
minute it was gonna be Brock Lesnar versus friggin' Jinder Mahal, and we were all kind of like, oh, great. Like I don't really, it was a mad. No, it's nothing against Jinder or Raj Desi, I think he's called now in the Indies, whatever. Nothing against him. No one really wanted to see that match, like to the point that they had AJ take the title off him on a house show so we could get AJ Brock instead. So like, whatever. That was a whole aside. This and the men's one are both just going to be used to set stuff up, and they just happen to have a belt that means nothing, and that we'll see for like 2 weeks after this to just have around. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think it's going to be Nia, but I think it's going to be because Rhea costs Liv in some way to keep them going. But at the same time, like Rhea is going to cost Liv, but it's also going to be a thing where like it's going to plant the seed for Rhea Nia at Mania for the WWE Women's. Calling that
Yeah.
one now ahead of time. Maybe that's when Tiffy cashes in finally at Mania. But yeah, Nia's gonna win because Rhea is gonna interfere in some way.
There
And
has to be interference.
yeah,
You
But
know, it's just
but
not.
I
Yeah,
don't mistake my like future booking for that for me caring that much about this match because I really just don't.
yeah,
I don't care about either one of these titles. It's just a dumb thing. But yeah, Nia wins. You know, thank you.
yeah.
Next.
Thank you. Next, let's get to the next match here. It is for the United States Championship. It is your champion, L.A. Knight. Keith
Yeah.
going against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Triple threat match for the United States Championship. This has been, I don't want to say one of the highlights or one of the most entertaining portions of SmackDown the past few weeks, but it has been. It's just something that you don't get to see often with actual mid cards you can put up, and it's just entertaining. It really is. I mean, there's not much talking in this triple feud, but the actions. It's really entertaining with LA Knight being the special guest referee. That was cool. I didn't really care for the ending, but I get it. This is just one of those matches that they may put together just because of this or that. But I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for the mid card division just in general on SmackDown. I think it's a bright portion of the. Not that SmackDown is awful. I mean, it's 2 hours. It's on Friday. I don't really watch it as live, but when I do watch the highlights, this is what I want. This is what I
Yeah.
want from my champion. Someone that is arrogant, somebody that is cocky, somebody that can talk the talk and walk the walk. And then you got two challengers. As much as we, complain, bitch and moan about Andrade in AEW not really, doing much. And then, okay, well, Trips is back, Andrade's back. Charlotte, what do you think? Okay, good. It's been more than what I thought, and I'm really enjoying his tenure with the WWE, and I've enjoyed those 7 or 8 matches. I think 7 matches between
Mhm.
Carmelo and Andrade. Um, this is it's difficult to an extent, and I'll say it this way: there has to be something that happens after this because it's got to end, right? I mean, Andrade and Hayes had 7 matches. LA
Right.
Knight might need to go on to bigger, better things since he can't wrestle one or the other. He has to wrestle both, which I love. I love triple threat matches, but I think it ends here, and then that's where I'm saying that. What I'm saying is, I want more for Carmelo Hayes, and I don't think he's going to win. And I don't know what you do next after the 7 series, which Andrade, and then losing to LA in this match. Maybe bigger and better things. Maybe he's on the retirement tour for Cena, but that's a little bit of ways. I don't know what you do. Maybe you do, but I'm going with LA Knight. Yeah. What do you got here?
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, you kind of took it all for the same kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
It's a shame Carmelo has not been the same Carmelo he was in NXT. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I don't know why it isn't happening. I don't know why it hasn't happened. Um, I just don't feel like they're him and Carmelo and Andrade series of 7 it's been good. It's been very
Yeah.
entertaining to watch and everything. But I don't know what it is. I'm not buying either one of them as taking this from LA Knight. Um, is that bias on my part because I like LA Knight a lot? Maybe. I don't really know. Um, but I don't know. I just don't see it
Yeah.
being them. But it does pose the challenge because, like you just said, it's like what do either one of those two do after this? I'm gonna lock it.
Next.
Like
Yeah.
I'm predicting LA Knight is gonna retain with you, but like it's tough because it is like what do we do with them after this? I mean, do you keep them just kind of doing their thing on mid card stuff, put them on speed or whatever on the in between and everything, and then because I think Andrade is the speed champion, unless that changed.
Yeah.
If anyone cares about that, I don't know that I watched a single speed match, but whatever. Um, you know, do you have them like just kind of keep doing their thing like so much, and they, do they become the next like bar? They have this series of 7. They learn to like coexist, and then they take on and they become this great tag team like the bar was because that'd be cool. Maybe,
Yeah.
Carmelo can talk for them because Andrade is still not strong on the English. I don't know. I don't know where it goes with it. What's next for Andrade?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't really care. He's a decent worker in the ring. I've
Yeah.
never been super excited about him. I was at NXT Takeover Philly with him and Johnny Gargano. Like it was one of the more recent 5-star matches Meltzer gave to a WWE thing. It was a good match. I think it was a lot more exciting because of like Gargano, and Andrade did his work in it and everything for sure. But he
Yeah.
was also Andrade was exciting then because he had Zelina Vega as his mouthpiece. So like, I don't know. He's been whatever to me. I love Carmelo Hayes. You know, fix him, make him what he was. Like he's kind of a chump on the main roster. He was him in NXT. Make him again.
Yeah.
But yeah, LA
Yeah.
Knight retains. I don't know. It's just LA Knight retains, but it's worrisome of what happens after this.
I mean, even for
Where do
LA,
we
like
go?
who's next? You
Right.
know? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's next.
But
I just
I'm a little less concerned about that though, because it's like when you're the
yeah.
champion, they can come to you and you can write the story that way, But
Yeah.
it's like these guys have been both gunning for it for a little while, and then neither one wins it, and it's like, yeesh.
Yeah.
Where do we go now?
Yeah.
Where do we
I'm
go,
with you.
sweet child? Where do we go
There
now?
we go. Let's get to the next match. Here we go. Roman
Yeah.
Reigns and the Usos going 1-on-1 with the Bloodline 6-man tag team match. Um, I've been loving it. To be honest, for the past month and a half, maybe a little bit longer, I just said, what are we doing here? Why? I mean, it just seems like we have so much resources to pull from, and we're just going to have Solo and his new bloodline come out every week and say, acknowledge me, better acknowledge me. Oh my God, acknowledge me. Do this, do that. And we had the Jimmys and we had the Jays and we had Paul, who's still on the bench. Roman, who just came back. And it just, I don't know. I just wasn't into it as much. And I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to, compare it to anything, but like the NWO at the end of its run, it was like, oh my
Getting
God,
kind of
he's
bloated.
back
Yeah.
again, another member, this and that. But I'm excited for this. This is something I wanted so badly to see. I wanted to see Jimmy and Jay reunite with Roman Reigns and the little send off they had to end Raw with him and Jay, Jimmy and Jay. Was it Raw or SmackDown? I don't care. One of the shows
It was
they ended. Yeah, I guess
it was
Raw.
it was
'Cause
raw. It was
yeah,
raw. Yeah.
at the end they hugged each other like, yeah, man, we're back. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I knew this is what was going to happen. I just maybe would have done something, some things a little differently. But that's fine because we're at this I was going to say like closing the book to this amazing chapter, but I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to continue this, but it does seem like it's going to continue for a little bit longer,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
like you said until Survivor Series, but it's just such a hot storyline, you just can't do nothing. So I get the reason why Solo and he brought his family in and this and that. I mean, we got Fatu, which is wonderful. I've been so much
The man.
yeah, enjoying Fatu and his run. So I'm excited for this. I really don't know who's going to win here. You would think Roman Reigns and Jay and Jimmy. So I'm going to go. I'm going to side with the OGs, the old bloodline, just because it would make more sense for the storyline. But um, again, similar to the women's match, Liv and Nia, I feel like something has to happen here. I don't
Right.
know if we're going to see The Rock in Saudi. I don't know if he will take that trip, but I do see something. Maybe Heyman comes back, but it's just not a 1, 2, 3, and the OGs win here. So I do have Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, but give me something else. Keith, what do you got?
Yeah. No, I mean yeah. I I've made no secret about where I think this storyline is going. We're getting
Yes,
Bloodline OG versus Bloodline 2.0 in War Games. So since taking that as fact that that's happening, that
yeah,
match, War Games, has to be won by Bloodline 2.0. It has to. Solo and
yeah.
the
Good point.
current Bloodline has to win War Games. So taking those things as fact, Roman and the Usos have to win here. Because that's what kind of fuels the fire to get us toward War Games becoming a thing. Because they win here, it really pisses the Bloodline 2.0 off. They keep coming after them. We get a Regal cameo. Gentlemen, we know how this ends. War Games. Wonderful. I need it. I need it on my television screen.
Give it to me.
Exactly. Give me what I want. So give us all what we want, Paul. We all want it. Just do it. So, yeah. So again, taking those things as fact that's good. That War Games match is happening. That the Young Guns, Solo and the Tongans and everyone they have to win War Games. You throw the Saudi match to Roman and the Usos. I agree with you also that something happens. Look, going over all this at first, my first thought was like, well, The Rock will show up. That'll be huge for them. I mean, that's what Saudi fans are all about, is like the Attitude Era and like earlier even still at this point. But like, I don't know that it'll be him, just because I don't know that like he would want, like, for lack of a better term really here, like the Saudi stink on him. In like the rest of the entertainment world, it's fine as like a wrestler. All the wrestlers are there. Who gives, it doesn't matter, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how forgiving Hollywood's going to be for them to be, I can like just like I can like see it on E, like Dwayne Johnson makes controversial move by showing up at a wrestling event in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like,
well, also too, to your point a few weeks ago, him showing up at Bad Blood was like, what? And then
it did
really
nothing.
Think about it. Him showing up here, like, what does he have to win or lose here? Like, he does not care that there's a family feud. He wants Cody. That's it. That's his next feud. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean that was kind of it there. Like I thought Rock originally, but I don't think it'll be him. I would love to see Heyman. We were talking recently on our last video about Alejandro Armando Estrada, right? Yeah. He's got a Legends deal in. Maybe he's going to get in the mix with the 2.0 because, exactly. So maybe, dude, like, it's funny, but like maybe like that's like that nostalgia pop they would want in Saudi Arabia that they think would get a big thing. So maybe it could even be something just like when Bloodline 2.0 is making their entrance, he comes out with them, and then like midway through, he's becoming some kind of factor in it, and then all of a sudden we just get the ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul, and huge pop for that. The first time we've seen him since Mania, really, like it'd be amazing. So I think we get that. But yeah, OG Bloodline wins it here.
Can I fantasy book here real quick?
Please do.
2 teams of 4. We get that. Okay. There's one more guy we're missing here. That was an OG. Come on. We don't think he may be there because it's Saudi. We've seen him there once or twice. Sammy shows up. Maybe Sammy helps. Right?
Yeah. Well, so that could be that's a tough one though, because there was also the whole thing on, I think it was on Raw last night, after Sammy like went to Jay and was like, dude, what are you doing? You can't trust him, whatever. And then later in the show, they saw Sammy was talking to Solo. So I don't know. I don't disagree with you, because they do.
The seed right there.
OG Bloodline needs a 4th man for War Games.
Dude,
right.
You need it. You need him.
I would love it to be Sammy. And honestly, that would work, because then that's how they get him in, is he can be like, dude, like, he can work his way in and then just make it so that Sammy actually turns on them and he's loyal to Solo then, and that's how they win War Games, I guess.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, that's
hire us. Hire us. They were hiring writers. Bring us in.
Yeah, that's WWE too at its finest. They give you Sammy, they put him on, the bad shoulder, the good shoulder. Now we're talking about it. And why is that? Because, he's going to show up and he's going to win that's what I'm hoping here. It just makes the most sense, as much as, we brought up Heyman and Alejandro Estrada. Sammy, give us what we want, and let's get to the main event, I guess. Here we go.
Yeah, I assume
first
it will
ever
be.
crown jewel AEW champion versus champion. You got the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes going 1-on-1 with the world heavyweight champion Gunta Keith, this is the main event. I'm going to let you take it. What do you got here, brother?
Yeah, I mean, so I said it with the women's already. I wish I cared more about these matches. Because this one especially, we all wanted this match, and I still do. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good match. I don't want to take anything away from that. But I still just feel like these Crown Jewel championships, champion versus champion from each show matches are just nonsense, just there to be things. So this one is not going to be that much different than it is with the women's. It's going to be a good match still and everything, but
yeah.
I think this is being used as a tool because, again, we're in Saudi Arabia. There was already some seeds planted earlier on, too, for what I'm about to say here. I think, as much as it hurts me to say it, I think Cody wins here because Goldberg cost Gunther.
Jesus.
So that we can get Goldberg versus Gunther for some godforsaken reason that I won't ever understand. This coming from a former WCW kid who grew up loving Goldberg, who once made a sign in his own home to not go to an event, but drew a sign to hold to the TV when Goldberg came out of him in the ocean saying Goldberg is what really sank the Titanic. You can't get more 90s than that, But great. I loved him. But that's the key word there is loved. Past tense, bro. You're pushing 60 at this point, man. You're not who you were. You're not explosive no more. The nostalgia pop here and there, sure, it's fun. But for you to show up and to challenge the world champion and give us all the worry that you're going to beat him like you did to The Fiend, like you did to Kevin Owens, sucks. I hate that. I hate that I have to worry that friggin' Goldberg is going to beat Gunther at some point. But for some reason, we have to have that match. So, I don't want to get too terrified about it at all. Cody's going to win because Goldberg's going to cost Gunther. Who you got here? You got the same?
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The same exact thing. It just makes the most sense. Again, the storyline I like when Cody's personal. I like when he has his heel tendencies. Like you with KO, I think Cody is better as a heel. Mm-hmm. And when he brings up the truth, when he goes one-on-one in the ring with a promo, I'll say it. I don't think anyone's any better. As of right now. Currently I think Cody's really just on his A game, and this is another match where we go into maybe me and I'm saying okay, whatever. But he's going to put up. They're both going to put up, so it's going to be enjoyable. Oh, yeah. Again, the ending is going to be what it is, and I guess we'll see what happens. But it just seems like throughout the whole storyline, everything, the feud, this pay-per-view, it just seems like, again, maybe this is a rabbit hole, maybe another day, another time, but it just seems like same old shit, I don't know, maybe it's because it's Saudi and you can't really do much, but let's end it here. I got Cody Rhodes winning, and I do see Goldberg coming back. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate it. Every prediction, WWE prediction, will be on this channel. We'll be talking about it, recap. We're always here. Again, thank you. Keith, give the people what they want. Let's get out of here. What do you got?
You already know I am on X and TikTok at Keith of the Ring, and I'm on Instagram at _ Keith of the Ring.
Yeah, and we got a fancy website, uwpod.com. You see us on YouTube. Go check us out on uwpod.com. That's where you get all the resources you need. Any social media site we're on. Again, enjoy your Saturday. Have an awesome weekend. And we'll see you next time right here on the UW Pod. Peace.